Alright, we're going to go over the new schematic that I have made. The Mindustry V2 C-Pible engine. So here we go, we build it up. And is already starting to run. So, essentially, what we're looking at is a type of engine that uses combustive generator or steam generator over here. This powers up all of these phase conveyors for the water to travel through. What that water does is it enables us to make cryo fluid for these differential generators. Then later on makes cryo fluid for the impact reactor. So we're building up cryo fluid. This first message here, differential generator activation. Start when cryo is full. So I'm just going to go ahead and enable it. So now they are producing power. So what's going to happen is I have this wonderful contraption down here called a regulator. What this will do is the regulator will enable this battery diode whenever the power on the differential side gets up to 99%. Then it'll deactivate it whenever it gets below 20%. So what it's doing right now is it's sending shots of energy into the impact side. It's giving it just enough power to get everything initiated, get everything started. What that's doing is it's starting up these pyrite mixers and as well as the blast mixers. After a while, we're going to start building up some blast compound for the impact reactor. So once we have at least 10 blast compound inside of the impact reactor and at least about 28,000 power on the impact side, which we have more than that, we can enable that. That will start up the impact reactor. Now we could pretty much ignore the whole left side of this with the differentials. All the differential generators do now is maintain this impact reactor to keep it from losing power. And just as an example, I'm going to connect this surge tower to my grid. This is 2 of these slag to everything, scrap to everything. I pretty much have them voided just so I can test the power grid. Right now we're not outputting any power. That's due to this power grid isolation switch that I have. So what we can see here is if we click anything outside of our grid, power needs are 19K, which is typical whenever you're starting on a server, on multiplayer server. Right here we're only going to make about 6400 power once it gets fully set in. That's where the magic comes in. As you can see here, I have power or battery diodes here. They are turned off. We're waiting for the impact to become fully functional. Alright. Now here's where the magic happens. There is an overdrive dome that already has a flare assigned to it that brings it silicon and phase. This is where the fun stuff gets. So we have 6300 power output on the impact reactor and the battery diodes are turned off. We go up to this power grid isolation switch, we enable it. It not only turns on the battery diodes, but it also turns on the overdrive dome, therefore 15,750 power coming out of the impact reactor. And voila, we can run pretty much everything. Now this is a smart grid, so it will hold on to its own power to keep itself running, and it'll only push out to the grid what the grid needs. If the grid doesn't need any power, it won't push out any power. If the grid needs, 17,000 power, then it'll pretty much chew up that 17,000 power, but the impact will not stop. The impact reactor will keep going. And there we go. And just to show you the material costs, it's the Mindustry V2 CPIBLE engine. 944 copper, 4,192 lead, 972 metaglass, 705 graphite, 2,739 titanium, 329 thorium, 2,090 silicon, 907 plastinium, 60 phase fabric, and 385 surge alloy. Now the numbers on here are a little estranged because it's not taking into account that the overdrive dome is there. It is saying that it produces 10,320 power, and it uses up 3,000, close to 2,800 power. But the point is that this is a fully independent system. If you provide the water, the lead, the sand, the coal, and the titanium for it, it is really a independent system able to power itself. So there's not really a need for external power to get this thing started. It does have some solar panels. It does have, I'll show this. It does have a small solar panel. Let me get my HUD back up. It does have a small solar panel here and there, mainly just to get the system started. And I could show this by example. If I copy this and I move this grid elsewhere, or move this schematic elsewhere, it produces just enough power to get everything started. There we go with that flare delivering what is needed, which I'm